Hello, teachers. Good day to you. Today, I wish to look at mentors staying on the cutting edge. I am Katina Murray. Let us look at the process of effective teaching and learning and what it certainly is not. These are some defeatists and misconceptions that teachers have which undermine the whole process of effective teaching and learning. Over the span of my career, these are comments that I have often heard teachers say. And many times, especially early on in my career, these were from older teachers, more experienced teachers. And as the years went on, this is the same attitude that I have heard from teachers. And if we are honest with ourselves, you would admit or you will admit that these are comments that you have heard too. I may have placed them in English for the most part, but you know that you would have heard them at some point or another. These children are not interested in learning. They want to do their own thing, so they will not learn. Those students are time wasters. They are indisciplined, and I don't have time to waste on them. Hey, I go to my class and teach, and who wants to learn? Learn. These students are slow. They don't know anything, and I am not Jesus. You can force the water to the well. You can force the horse, to the well, but you cannot force it to drink. Me nah kill up myself. Those children cannot pass fly. What me fi do? These are some misconceptions and negative attitudes that teachers have that affect the whole process of effective teaching and learning. If we consider children to be too slow for us to help them, if we consider children to be too disinterested in learning for us to help them, if we consider children to be time wasters and indisciplined so we cannot help them, and if we continue to see them as being persons who cannot pass anything, they cannot pass any examinations, and therefore we cannot help them, then what are we doing in the classroom? How does that impact you as a teacher? Will you be effective as a teacher if you have already defeated yourself in the whole process? Effective teaching and learning, being the CEO of the classroom, is very much like a business. Now let us think of the classroom like it is our business. We want to ensure that all our customers are satisfied. We want to ensure that through the service we offer as teachers, that all our clients are successful. We want to ensure that they reach the height that they can possibly reach within our care, within our instruction, within our guidance. And therefore, if this is our goal as CEOs of our classroom, we must do what we can. We must find the strategies, the different methods that can get our students to work at the optimum level and to achieve authentic learning and achieve success within our classroom setting. Some of these things that we can do as teachers include ensuring that no child is left behind. If you are operating a business, you want to make sure that all your clients leave satisfied. So our students are our clients. So we want to make sure that every student learns, they grasp the lesson, they are able to apply it into their everyday lives. They are able to develop not only their, for example, I'm a teacher of English, their English language skills and whatever other subjects you may teach. Not only to develop those skills, but to develop their critical thinking skills. Throughout your lesson, all these things are being developed. So the teacher will create lessons that appeal to the different learning styles of students. All students are not auditory learners. There are some that are visual. There are some that are tactile. There are some who learn. All our students learn in different ways, very much like us. And if we think about it, we learn better in one way as opposed to somebody else who may learn in a different way. So we have to consider the learning styles of our students. We must ensure that differentiated learning is implemented and facilitated in the classroom. We must create lessons that meet the needs of our students, the learning needs of our students, and meet them where they are. We have to ensure, and this second point, we want to make sure that it's not a one size fits all lesson that we are doing, because our students are all at different levels, they're at different paces, and it doesn't mean that one student is slow or the other one is quicker than the other student. Everybody learns at a different pace. And I can tell you this from my own personal experience, that I was very good in subjects that I had to read the information. I was very good in English, literature, history, all those subjects that I had to read. But when it came to mathematics, when it came to things for me to calculate, it took a little longer time for me to process the information. And it's the same thing that happens in our classes. It doesn't mean that the student is slower than anybody else, but it means that they will process the information in a different way. They may take a longer time to process the information. And so you need to set up lessons or set up activities or create activities rather that will meet the students where they are. We must also ensure that a variety of assessment strategies are used in order to facilitate the varied strength of our learners. So we are not just looking at giving students multiple choice, one size fits all again, or giving them a written activity. Allow them to do presentations, whether it is orally or in writing. Allow them to do a demonstration. Allow them to dramatize depending on the area. Allow them to create a game that is reflective of the lesson. Allow them to do things, to create things. And this is how we will be able to feed into the strengths of our students. We want to also ensure that we closely monitor all our students, monitor their performance, monitor the progress as they go along. Monitor the challenges that they are encountering. We will realize that this one is having a problem with his or her grammar. We may find out that this one is having a problem with writing, expressing him or herself in writing. And if we monitor, we will see the challenges that students have. And when we see this, when we recognize these challenges, we will be able now to create strategies, implement strategies to address these weak areas. When we do all of this, we will ensure that no child, no student of ours is left behind, and we will ensure that they are on the path to success, which is what we want as teachers, to be effective as CEOs. Now I want us to look at the Jamaican Act, and there are two that applies to my role as a teacher. First, there is the Education Act of 1980, and this act is extremely relevant to my practice as a teacher, as it is the fundamental guide to my practice, my rights, my roles and responsibilities, the responsibility that I have to my students, and my general practice in the classroom. The other act that applies to my career as a teacher is the Child Protection Act of 2007. This act speaks to the rights of the child as it relates to their treatment. They should be protected from all forms of abuse, and their welfare must be protected. It also highlights the responsibility of all adults, including myself as a teacher, to report any forms of abuse and neglect. As a teacher, I must protect and promote the well-being of all my students. And whilst I'm on this particular Child Protection Act, I know that one of the customs that we have had over the years is the use of corporal punishment in the classroom, which now has been encouraged to has been now discouraged in the classroom because it is against the Child Protection Act. It is an action that would happen maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30, 50 years ago, where corporal punishment was the norm in the classroom. Now it is not so much so. And if it is still going on, it is not one that is condoned by the Ministry of Education. And so it is a practice that teachers are discouraged from carrying out in the classroom. Now, let us look at the 2030 vision, and I want to look at applicable 2030 vision goals and my role in that. First one is teachers will be trained to world-class standards. I must say that as a teacher, I am trained and I am trained at world-class standards. I am a trained graduate in the subject area I teach, and each year I ensure that I am constantly upgrading my craft through workshops, short courses, seminars that seek to improve my skills as a teacher. I am a world-class teacher, trained at world-class standards. And so this is my role. This is what I have been doing to upgrade myself. So I'm at the standard that the 2030 vision requires me to be in order to effectively carry out my role as a teacher. The other 2030 vision goal, which where I'm also going to highlight my role, is that each child will have the best learning environment and will leave school with at least 5 subjects, including English. My mission as a teacher of English is to prepare students effectively so that they are able to efficiently apply their competencies in English in any setting, including external examinations such as CSEC and City and Guilds. In order to achieve this, I have been on the path of making learning and developing English language skills fun and exciting for students and creating an environment that caters to their learning styles, their learning needs, and one that facilitates their authentic learning and critical thinking skills. So as a teacher, I have been contributing in this area. I have been playing my role in order to help students to reach a level of success of not only being proficient in their demonstrating proficiency in their external examinations, but demonstrating proficiency in a way that they are able to go out into the society and the world at large and demonstrate these skills effectively. Another area is contribute to national development by being socially aware and responsible, conscious of what is good for society, committed to a sustainable lifestyle, spiritually conscious, mature, and tolerant of diversity, rooted in his or her Jamaican identity. I must say that as a former festival queen for my parish, for the parish of Hanover, that this I am deeply rooted in the areas of culture, in the area of heritage as it relates to Jamaica. And I have spent my life, through my community efforts, through works with the JCDC, and through my school in helping to nurture this sort of responsibility amongst our students. I am the coordinator of the culture club at my school, and I have facilitated students' involvement in developing creativity, awareness in Jamaican culture, the history and heritage, and also to help them to understand their role as citizens of Jamaica. Students get a chance to perform at special functions and in competitions, providing entertainment and whilst they're having fun, and at the same time spreading a message about citizenship and their Jamaican heritage. I find it also necessary to play an integral role in engaging students in Jamaica Day activities and Heroes Day celebrations, where these goals can also be promoted and reinforced. So, as teachers, our role is not simply to go to school, teach, go home. We have to engage our students in developing not only soft skills, but we have to develop their sense of pride in our nation, our sense of pride in our country, Jamaica, a sense of their roles and their responsibilities as citizens within the society that help them to be consciously aware of the part that they play in making Jamaica a better place. And that will help towards the greater development of our society. Now, right now, I want us to take now a stroll down to the M.O.E.Y.I, that's Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. Let us look at the agencies and their roles. There are 13 agencies that comes under the umbrella of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. First, there is the Jamaica Teaching Council, and it has as its role the regulating of the teaching profession, teacher registration, licensing, development and sustenance of teacher competencies, and overall elevation of the teaching profession. All teachers should be aware of the Jamaica Teaching Council. There's also the National Council on Education, that is the NCE, and it has as its chief function the provision of leadership as it relates to the development of educational policies which aim to provide support to the national educational goals and school systems in Jamaica. The Jamaica Tertiary Education Commission, JTEC, aims to position all tertiary institutions at world-class standards and quality through the process of regulation, registration, and development. There is also the National Parenting Support Commission. It has as its responsibility the organizing of any government programs geared towards parenting and parent support. The University Council of Jamaica, UCJ, is the external quality assurance EQA body for universities in Jamaica. It regulates the overall standards of university as well as their programs. And those of you who have gone to university, you may have gone to a new university. There are some, I remember back in the day when I was going to UWI, there were some colleges and universities that were just coming out, some from overseas and so on. And the big talk was accreditation. Is this course accredited? Is this university accredited? And so on. And so this is the body that you have to look to in terms of accreditation. They regulate what is happening in the universities as it relates to the courses, their programs, and the university itself. There's also the National Education Inspectorate. Many teachers will be familiar with this, the NEI. And this is responsible for the assessment of schools and the students at crucial points in their education. The NEI will make reports on the progress of students, the progress of the school, and also provides recommendations. And even though I mentioned school and I mentioned the students, it also assesses the leaders within those institutions, how the institutions are doing as it relates to teaching and learning, what is happening with the teachers. So all of that is reported on by the NEI, and then recommendations are made from that. And hopefully the schools will make note of those recommendations and, make some progress towards, helping themselves to improve their institutions. Now, the Council of Community Colleges of Jamaica, the CCCJ, organizes and monitors the operations of community colleges in Jamaica. It provides standardization for exams and quality assurance. There's also the National Education Trust, and this is responsible for procuring and maintaining investment in education. It establishes and preserves relationships with stakeholders and partners whose monetary contributions are channeled to areas in education where needed. The Early Childhood Commission, the ECC. This body serves to advance early childhood care, education, and development in the sector. It also serves to regulate and standardize the early childhood sector in Jamaica. Most persons will know about Heart Trust NTA, and this provides training and certification for Jamaica's workforce, preparing them for the global market. The Jamaica Information Service, JIS, yes, is another agency that falls under the ambit of the Ministry of Education. And this agency has as its mandate to inform Jamaicans of government policies and programs using a range of media. This is done with the aim of promoting awareness amongst our citizens, creating a level of understanding and amassing the citizens' support to these programs and policies. The M.O.E.I agencies again and their roles. Here we are at the National College for Education Leadership, and this is the NCEL. This serves to enhance the skill sets of leaders of schools at every level. These school leaders include aspiring principals, experienced principals, vice principals, board chairmen, bursars, middle managers, and so on. Finally, Overseas Examinations Commission, the OEC. This agency is responsible for administering all examinations that originate from overseas. Part of its function is to ensure that secondary schools meet the stipulated requirements for sitting these examinations. Finally, I was seduced by exceptional customer service by John Bokuzi Jr. He was a speaker on TEDx. Now, this video resonated with me because many times I think that teachers think of customer service and offering good customer service within the context of a receptionist who may be at a doctor's office, or the receptionist at their school, or the secretary. Or they may think of offering when you think of good customer service, they think of when they go to the supermarket or they go to a store and the attendants and so on, assisting them, being nice, being courteous and so on. They may think of it as something that is beyond, not beyond them, but something that they do not have to offer. But the truth is that as teachers, we are offering a service. And that service is the education of the students who are placed in our charge. And if we are offering a service, we need to offer good customer service. And that has to do with how we make our clients feel. Our students are our clients, believe it or not. They are our customers. They are the persons whose interest we are to ensure that we are serving and doing it well. And so this resonated with me because many times people spend time building a brand, but part of building that brand is offering good service, good customer service. This video resonates with me because I too value excellent customer service and believe that treating persons whom we serve with respect, courtesy, and a willingness to help will go a far way in impacting the image of the brand I represent. In my own experience over the years, I have had students choosing to attend my classes for English, both at the private school that I teach and the public school, because they have heard of my reputation through their parents, other family members, friends, acquaintances, or other persons. And what am I known for? I am known for, being an excellent teacher, a teacher who makes learning fun, a teacher who goes the extra mile to help her students, a teacher who has a track record of helping students towards success in their external examinations and even their internal examination. Without even marketing myself, I have been offered numerous opportunities, and that is because I have offered good customer service over the years that I have been teaching. And so it has opened many doors for me because of my customer service, my good customer service, my reputation is indeed a good one. And so this video hits home to me because it connects with my values and my beliefs as it relates to offering good customer service. The mantra that guides my every interpersonal relationship, whether it is professional or social, is that I must treat others in the same way that I want to be treated. It influences the quality of my service as a teacher, how I relate to my students, their parents, stakeholders, and other persons who come into contact with the school, my colleagues as well, and all categories of workers. Yes, indeed. People can be seduced by exceptional customer service, and I encourage you, teachers, mentors, to offer excellent customer service to your clients which are your students, they are your clients. Offer them good service, treat them well, ensure that they succeed, and indeed your reputation will build. It will certainly grow, and it will open doors and opportunities for you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for stopping by.